So yeah, the last 10 episodes are really interesting in that campaign. These guys, so given a little bit of a break, I actually know more about how the campaigns relate to each other. And this one I always thought was the oddball, because there are dead gods, or gods that, if you believe Baba Yaga's museum, that are dead, that are not dead in the other campaigns.
Right, right.
Like you found Bakob's wand,
Yeah.
and he was the dead god of magic, and Palor was dead, and a bunch of these other D&D gods are not dead in some of the campaigns that we're playing.
Yeah.
Legends campaign, they were alive and kicking.
Okay.
In Dread and Circus, we're starting to kind of see something going sideways.
Yeah.
So from a chronological point of view,
We're
you might
in
be
the future time.
You might be in the future time.
Vark become heroes?
The Vark do not become heroes. So that was the Feros, then it's the Cactus folk that get to go.
That seems fair.
So this one had already sprayed his needles on Tech. He's just going to take a couple of attacks at Tech Sarakagat.
I think Tech's AC might be slightly reduced because of the rage.
Yep, reduced by 2. However, AC nat 1 and AC...
Come on, confirm it!
AC 25, does that confirm?
It was previously 28, so at worst it's got to be 26 now.
Okay, so that's
I do
a...
not have the rage taken into account. I got to do that.
There is a chart roll that we have. I totally forgot we have this thing. Where is my chart? Do I not have one on this computer? That's unfortunate. Alright, I'm just going to make something bad happen to it. I'm going to have to email that file to myself.
Could fail?
Yeah.
Is it online?
Is that a swift action?
Emailing? No. So it is going to do damage to itself.
This is the little one?
This is the little one, yeah. It does its own slam damage to itself.
What did it tell me?
For 9 damage. As it comes hammering in hard on Tech's body armor, is carapace, and the needles go backwards into its own flesh. It also heals 5, however. And then the one on the ground heals 5, but does not wake up. Cactus Treants. Let's do the stupid one first. It turns around to wallop Ezri a couple of times. Oh shit! She says as something's grabbing at her feet, and it comes slamming in. AC 30, AC 21. That AC 30 hits.
Yep, the 21 won't do it.
18 damage on Ezri.
She's taken 30 damage so far.
That's
I'm not
not
supposed
good.
to be in front, is what she says. And then the one that is run over Tech's trap. It's kind of in the hellscape. Yeah, it's just gonna try to pile drive or pound Tech into the dirt. AC 19, AC 20 misses twice. Brings 2 of its weird hands together into a balled fist and comes hammering down. Tech just sidesteps that and then hops back to where he was. The Vark, you can see them climbing up onto their stag beetles, and the stag beetles are they begin to fly. These things fly at the tremendous speed of 20. Their big, loud, angry wings just taking off into the night.
Keep track of them, will you, Pixel?
Parker, a bunch of cowards, aren't they? Fair say.
I will continue Bard Song.
Yep.
I am going to evil eye the animated cactus's AC as well.
Okay. It does have a.
Actually, wait a minute. No, I'm not. I have misfortune now.
Oh, that's bad.
I'm gonna misfortune the big guy.
The big one?
Yeah, let me make sure I have that.
Does that roll twice and take the lower result?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Let's take a quick look at how the sucker works. This is the first time I've done misfortune, I think, with a witch. Yeah. It is cackleable. It just essentially conveys a disadvantage for 1 round. Will save
all of its
negates.
rolls.
Yes.
Okay. We'll say negates. So this creature, as you begin to give out the evilest of your hexes, tries to shake it off, like shakes its head. No. +9 -2 because of the visions of hell. It rolls a 13. It is now misfortuned.
It's not going your way, friend.
So it makes him bad at doing saves?
You're a creature of summer in a land of summer, but it's autumn.
Does that mean you're cackling?
I am going to cackle that. Yeah.
How many additional rounds does it get the worst thing ever?
Cackle, I think, just extends
By
hexes
1
in
round?
general by 2 rounds. Cackle Pathfinder.
Cackling is
Oh no, it extends it by 1 round.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense. You have to just sort of keep cackling it. Yeah.
So
So its AC was only fucked up for 2 rounds then.
Yes. And now it's fucked up for 1 more round because
Yep.
of the cackle. Yes.
Yep.
So I'm just continually extending that.
what is misfortune? It's
You roll all d20s twice and take the lower of the result.
Yeah, it's really shitty. Yeah.
This is how you're going to win many of your fights.
a little 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it's
The Cactus Guardian's staring right at Pharisee, who's standing 30 feet away from it, dancing in the field, laughing at it.
Why are we laughing?
Let's make sure that I am in fact standing 30 feet away by taking a 5-foot step.
Okay. Professor, what are you doing? You're flying around, visible.
Laughing is good, right?
Laughing is good.
In fact, we're going to make that 5-foot step to here, so it's truly still 30 feet away.
I'll fly up a little higher,
Yep.
and I will use the wand again on it. It has 2 charges per day. I'm going to use the second charge now that he's good and fucked up.
A second flash of green comes from the wand for the day. It flashes over the creature that's looking angrily at Pharisee. A wooden cactus treant would be really interesting, although how you very, very
even know
sharp
what that is.
firewood.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, let's
Make this.
But it's +13 fourth save, becomes a +11 because it's still standing in the visions of hell, and it gets to roll that twice. I'll roll 2, number sign, 20.
Back, you devil! That one is a 12.
That one's not going to do it. Yeah.
Ah!
There is a horrible rippling sound and twisting of bark as its cries are cut short, and it is simply a monstrous-looking statue standing in the field.
It worked!
spot on, Pharisee, with some well-timed laughter.
I evil eye the professor's saves.
What? Wait!
No, it's not my turn.
Okay. The animated cactus is now just falling over, like it loses all animation and just.
Oh, 2 for 1!
I'm gonna roll a d8 to see which direction the huge cactus goes.
I've got Ezri.
Onto the fire pit. Onto the fire.
8 is kind of in that direction. It falls backwards, so it is no longer animate and falls back into the grasp of the entangle spell. Alright, that was surgically effective. Yeah! Yells Ezri as she moves out of the difficult terrain and then moves to help Tech. So that's 25 feet of movement. She will run over and take a stab at that cactus, hitting for D4 plus 9 plus Bard Song is 2. She slices at the cactus thing for 14 damage. Oh yeah, that one out in the last round, I forgot to roll its strength checks.
Tangled in the madness.
Yep. Nope.
Just watching his companions disappear into a rock.
Tech.
5 foot step for the flank
Yep, you can crawl on top of that.
and demolish the cactus folk. Is that in the
Vision of Hell?
It may. No,
No.
it's right on the outside.
Just on the outside
right
of
on the
the
edge? All right. Yeah.
hellscape.
Let's finish off some cactus.
I wonder if you are tasty too, is what he says. What do you mean tasty too?
It means as well.
As well. Honestly.
Okay, you want to give me some attack rolls?
Yeah. Yeah, 18, 2 16s, a 15, and an 11.
Hit. A really good slice.
Yep. Miss.
Hit right on.
Oh.
18.
Okay.
Damn, it is.
15.
Hit.
It's dead, Tech.
And no. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's dead.
4d8 plus.
You can stop. Tech, you can stop now.
there's a scene where Tech's like got a blender going. Brrr. I think you can stop now. No, technically not. It's got regeneration.
74 damage.
He's chopped off all sorts of bits of this thing.
I think you got it, Tech.
Yeah, it is spraying its pulp all over the place. These things might actually be a good source of water in a grim sort of way.
Filled with plant meat.
Yeah, the plant meat.
Plant meat came to us.
You're gross, is what she says. They're alive!
No, this one is not.
Right.
Zephyros, I think you guys have this in hand. We'll play to the end of the round and then snap out of combat. Zephyros, what are you doing?
Coup de grace guy next one. Is this mic not working?
Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, there's a delay every once in a while.
You're pretty good now.
All right, I'm just gonna do a coup de grace on the guy next to me.
Okay. It's like taking a baseball bat to melons. You're just breaking the thing up. With your scythe, which I believe is a ×4 crit weapon,
Mm-hmm.
they can't be critted, so it just ends up being really
Messy.
messy. They are slowly regenerating, but over many hits, you just do too much damage. It's just a pulpy mess that remains. The cactus folk are not, unfortunately or fortunately, able to resist the amount of damage you're delivering. The bark circle around for a little bit.
But there's still one more left at the top there, right?
There is one more left, and then Pharisee, what are you doing with the one out in the field that's just now making a pitiful whine?
Probably try to kill it somehow so it doesn't go get more if there are more.
I think Tech ate some of them. Says Ezri as she comes stalking over to the fire. You guys have rounds to spare. The thing is stuck in the entangle.
Shall we finish the last one off?
Yes, I ate the small and sweet ones.
We can't change that now.
Did you know at the time?
No. Although
Well, that's helpful.
although one of them tried to run away, so I caught it.
Can we eat these ones?
Yes.
Oh, well. Surprise.
We're not eating the smart plant people.
But they're meat.
I'm not that smart.
He does have a point.
So while this conversation is going on, Zephyrus is going to head over to where he set the ground on fire, and he's going to use Drench as a cantrip to just kill the fire.
Okay, so you're playing fire. You're playing firefighter so that you don't set this entire part of the desert on fire. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Should we do something about the one out there, though?
How long does entangle work?
Entangle works for. Let's find out. I've got it up. A minute per level. So 6 minutes.
Same with vision fall.
Is it coming?
It's from the one that's trapped in the.
Oh, you can hear us.
It's actually speaking in Sylvan now.
Why did you come to us? It was foolish.
Well, this is a bother.
Unfortunate.
The desert is a dangerous place, little one.
Ezra's just sitting by the fire and clamping her hands around her ears.
Are you going to come after us again? Oh, for God's sake.
Shall we do something about this?
Tech, do you want to go around and finish it off?
Yes.
What's the range on magic missiles?
I'll go with you.
Medium.
I'll just start firing magic missiles from a wand at
Okay, between Tech, the hexes of Pharisee, which are renewable resources,
Yeah.
and your magic missiles from what?
A wand, caster level 3.
Okay, we'll say you cast one magic missile by the time the Tech descends upon this thing.
You know what? I've never seen despondent corpses. They always have a sort of peace to them.
Yes. Well, Malbert's corpse, he looks a little.
This one seems to be in distress.
He
sad.
springs into the area, attacks it. It sprays at Tech. It will probably get one round of spray.
The next one, please. Let's just talk to them first.
Tech takes 9 damage from the spray of needles before he just butchers the thing.
Well,
We have breakfast at least.
He does bring them back. When you see this one twitching, Tech does. He's confused at this. He goes and takes a poker from the fire and pokes both all the bodies, and they stop regenerating after that.
and firewood.
Ezri seems to be somewhat bothered by the fact that Tech is eating the very watery, pulpy innards of the cactus people.
Tech is a cream.
They're gross.
Yes, I don't eat other sentients.
No, is that against the rules somewhere? It is a plant, isn't it? Wouldn't this be vegetarian?
I'll give you a glare of death,
Oh,
since I am clearly like a tree sort of creature.
no offense, Pharisee. I mean, Tech often talks of eating me one day, though we won't get much meat, of course. Right, Tech?
Yes,
We're all friends here.
we will not waste your meat.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You should drink.
Ooh,
He's cupping some of the water he took from the inside.
I'll start working on felling this cactus guardian.
Okay. Are you like sawing its leg so it falls over? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You don't want to leave behind evidence? Is that what?
I mean, it's wood. The wood might be useful to us. We didn't really bring wood for campfires, but we could definitely use some wood.
Yeah. Tech offers his aid after he drinks after the battle, and you pretty soon have more than enough wood for your journey.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that would be useful to sort of keep.
Find
The s-
magic or anything on him?
the spines that have turned into wood might be interesting.
They're certainly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's
Tech-
grab like a
Tech harvests the spines, so we'll say
Yeah.
he's got a bag of 200 wooden needles.
yeah.
We'll search him for
Good.
magic.
Good for
put
traps?
some- I'll put. Oh yeah.
All right.
Tech can have it.
The other cactus folk, the fuck are they going to use wealth for? They don't normally attack villagers, except for when they wander into their little cactus nurseries and have a snack.
Yeah. Okay, fair
the
enough.
big one might have something. I will give you a chance. Let's roll a d3. If you roll a 3, you find something of value.
Anybody feeling good about this?
Nope.
I'll do
It's all you, Professor.
I'll do it. I'll try and highlight my message. 1d3. Highlighted.
2.
Okay. Wow.
It
It's
worked.
purple. Yeah, it did.
You guys jealous of that highlight?
Neat. Did you spend channel points?
Dude, I've spent so many channel points tonight highlighting messages.
I don't. Yeah, I think.
That's about all I can do with it.
I think I need to create like badges or emotes with channel points. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look into what those are. Badges.
We don't need no sneaking badges. Right, yeah. Right.
All right. So there doesn't seem to be anything else of a threat here in the prickly scrub, as you've killed a local guardian. Maybe the folk of Bosterra have to deal with these creatures every once in a while. They've, in a weird sort of way, put down a possible threat to civilization here. If you were alone,
They were on a rampage. I think.
Professor, you're thinking how many times you've wandered out here alone to try to get to some of your sites. Ezri just doesn't.
Your lightning boots are very impressive.
They are. I think I got them adventuring. Zephyrus, sweaty and hot, eventually comes back after he puts out the fires. It's a good thing that the vegetation isn't all like attached, so the fires only started in a few patches, and you were able to put them out with your drench spells.
Do you remember anything of your past life yet?
The Vark eventually come down and they circle the corpses that have been somewhat cleared of all the pulp, and eventually pick up some of the scraps of things that you guys have.
You should collect some firewood with us.
Yes, wood is good junk.
Yes, especially here in the desert.
Are you done with this junk wood? Yes, I think she's done with this junk wood.
Done with it. Enjoy.
But wait, is it dead? It is wood. It was dead. I think wood is not corpse. You are right.
Wood is junk. And
Will carrion
Or
bird
fire.
eat this? Yes, it will drink it. Yes, but it is not flesh. It is wood. Agreed. We can take it.
They seem to have a discussion around whether or not they could pick up the wood.
there's a code.
There is a code amongst these Vark.
Have you recovered any of those memories? Ezri, is it right?
I kind of like images of people.
Perhaps.
Think adventuring with you, it's more like the people I adventured with.
I've been giving this some thought, and perhaps we may be able to help you recover some of them in time, if you're interested.
How?
Well, you see, madam, I am a well-established and acclaimed scholar. I've studied many of the occult arts, and through my endless dabbling in arcane knowledge, I've found ways to recover lost memories.
You're gonna cast spells on me, aren't you?
No, actually, no. It's much more mundane than that.
Are you gonna play with my head again?
Not quite. You must only listen to the sound of my voice.
He's gonna cast spells on me, isn't he?
I swear it. I will cast one on myself, but not on you.
Oh.
If you're willing to try.
She looks around at Sephiros for, like, guidance in this. And he's a chair.
He fell asleep at the campfire.
Sephiros is off washing himself from firefighting. The talking bag, she's not sure.
The voice of reason.
Professor casts lots of spells.
Yes.
He's been our friend for a long time. You can trust him, probably.
That's quite right. You can probably trust me.
He is old, but he knows things.
Yes, both true.
He does know things.
Pixel comes up to Ferris saying,
Sometimes.
She's like, do we care if the professor's gonna play with our new friend's head with spells?
I told you it's not spells.
I don't know. I'm curious. He says it's not spells. Is it spells?
No, it's not.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
She
he probably
scoots
won't
she scoots a little bit closer. She gives Tech a dirty look, who's just sitting there going,
Eating sentient creatures.
just fucking just snacking on the shell of the pulpy shell of the cactus people.
I will cast glamour on myself to start with.
That's
I told you I will cast one on myself, not on you, my dear.
all right.
Not on you. And then I will commence with a hypnotism check. Hypnotism I could use to either implant a suggestion or recall a memory.
Ooh, is this part of your occult lore kind of thing?
Yes, it's a diplomacy occult variant thing. You can draw out forgotten memories from a willing subject. You spend 1 minute inducing a calming, trance-like state in the subject, after which you attempt a diplomacy check. If you succeed at the check, the hypnotized creature can reroll any previous failed knowledge, int or knowledge check to recall the forgotten information at a +4. Must be something the subject once knew or was exposed to. So, not great, probably won't do much considering how deeply her memories are erased, but
Okay.
She certainly has some memory that could probably be sort of reconnected across the gaps, maybe?
mm-hmm.
But I think that there are definitely things that are not
The
forgotten,
DC of the
they're
diplomacy
gone.
check is 20 plus the subject's will modifier. Plus
Yeah,
any.
it's pretty high.
Yeah. But it is a check with a skill, so you can definitely get this pretty high as well.
Yeah, mine is 13 with, say Drake, sir. 13 with the glamour running, so listen only to the sound of my voice.
Okay, the DC is 27. Okay.
20. Now, think back. Far back. Think deep in the fog.
I don't think it's working, she says finally. It's sort of putting me to sleep. Although I could talk about what things I do remember.
Well, let's start there.
Okay, do you realize that you didn't conjure anything out of her deep consciousness? She's just prattling on. Bosterra kind of reminds me of Heshmala. It's warm.
Heshmala.
There are sandy places there.
The sand. It gets everywhere.
There were 3 of us.
Oh?
3 Bastani. Me and my 2 friends. We left our village in a hurry. Something bad was happening.
Your friends. Can you see their faces?
Uh-huh.
Describe them, girl.
Okay, she describes 2 Bastani men. One with darker fur and one with lighter fur.
Do you remember anything else about them? About why you left?
Well, yes. Something bad was happening. We had to go fix it. I think we were young then and a little bit foolish.
See.
Razi was a bard, and Darshan. Darshan has a great light in his belly.
A light.
He's a healer.
Tell me of the light.
The 3 of us did great things. You think? I don't know, it starts to get fuzzy after that. There were others, kind of like you, but not exactly like you.
Of course, no one's exactly like us. What do you make of it, Pharisee, Zephyros?
There was a wizard.
Oh?
And a wolf?
Wolves in the desert?
No, we traveled to other places.
Outside of Ishmael?
Yeah, there are all sorts of pearls around Heshmala. Heshmala's just one of many.
What other pearls?
There was a place where there were lots of trees, and then there was a place that was cold.
I'll perk up when I hear that there's a place with lots of trees
So again, to us, Ishmael is like a
and
magic
sit around the
land.
fire.
Yeah, Heshmala is legendary. Heshmala is supposedly one of the realms where the inherited races were raised.
So do we believe her at this point?
She seems to have lots of detail.
She believes herself.
She believes it.
Right.
She's coming up with names and descriptions of people.
These are not descriptions that match anything we've read somewhere, so it's not as if we think she's rehearsing a story that she read.
Knowledge Plains? A place with lots of trees is probably not descriptive enough to narrow down a pearl, but a very cold place could be.
I will attempt knowledge planes on that.
I'll aid somebody.
I am utterly useless with a nat 1.
I'll aid Pharisee.
I know nothing.
Yeah, you just haven't come across there is a cold pearl
Yeah.
there is a cold pearl in the Great Wheel. It is up north, or like conceptually north on the
26.
On the compass wheel. 26.
Man, what's with our low rolls?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like a particular pearl. I'm just going to glance at my
Yeah.
at my big ass map on the whiteboard here.
See it's turned back around.
A really cold place full of monsters sounds like the Beastlands.
The Beastlands?
So perhaps Heshmala is near the Beastlands. Or told you Heshmala is.
I've never heard of the Beastlands before.
Perhaps they have different names where you come from.
No, this... Maybe. It was a place of eternal winter.
Ooh.
We adventured there. There was a dwarf, I think. He had a big bear.
Sounds like a pretty diverse group of creatures.
We fought a dragon, she says.
Ooh.
Do you remember the dragon's name? Dragons are famous.
It was a white one. I think it was puny.
Hmm.
For a dragon, anyways.
All right.
I don't know, there's just weird gaps.
Yes, there are.
I wish I could tell you more.
I wish you could tell us more too. This place full of trees sounds like a wonderful place.
There was a really big tree we went to. We spent some time there. Venturing, I think.
Interesting.
Peculiar.
She gives Ferris a kind of a weird look, and then then it got dark. I think we went to a dark place. She quickly, after talking about the big tree, changed topics. I don't know what else I could. Maybe I should start writing it down.
That's a capital idea.
She smiles.
Perhaps more will come to you with time.
I think I'll keep a journal, so I don't forget what we're doing here.
Yes.
Or if more pieces disappear, you'll have a way to...
Oh, don't say that. She kind of gives you a playful, hit in the shoulder.
Have you checked if
Old man is...
journal before?
Like,
Because Atheros asks her if whether she's kept a journal before, because she can't remember what she's done, right?
I didn't find any books on me.
Interesting.
Don't think I liked writing. The thought sounds pretty boring.
What is your name again?
Ezri?
Ezri. I'll take out my blank book, cast page-bound epiphany, and see if there's anything about her.
Now, the page-bound epiphany will tap into the knowledge of the libraries of Bosterra
Yeah.
to answer the question about Ezri.
It's a shot in the dark.
Okay, alright. You're probably looking for a nat 20 or something really high here.
+6 circumstance bonus on a knowledge. What knowledge?
History? What do you think?
Depends what your question is. There are libraries here, because the Fant had libraries, and there are probably books in Bosterra Town, so...
What do you think? Pharisee, Zephyros?
Who is Ezri? How did Ezri come to be here?
Why
How did Ezri lose her memories, perhaps, is a good one.
People who've lost their memories, or any other records of travelers from Heshmala?
Traveler records.
Travelers who've lost their memory, or travelers from Heshmala?
That sounds interesting.
I'll look for that.
I'll ask it.
Are there any
Travelers.
who have lost their memories?
History, maybe?
Yep. Are there any famous people who have lost their memory in in Bosterra? Okay.
39? 20? Not 20?
You said not 20.
Ezri is not one of them.
Yeah, she's not very famous.
That's fucking awesome.
That is great.
Well, the albino that you're going to see is thought to be old enough that he has forgotten more than he has ever known. The Fant don't know how old he is.
He'd have a great amount of knowledge then.
But that just means he's beyond the halfway point of his life, right?
Could be. There are also other beings in the sands that sometimes are sought out despite the fact that it's dangerous to do so. What were the name of those witches again that I...
I don't think we ever gave them a name. It's a coven of 3 witches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hags. Of the eye, right?
Yeah.
They pass it back and forth.
The Seer's Eye. The
Yeah.
Seer's Eye coven?
Yeah, the Seer's Eye Coven are sometimes sought out for knowledge that is lost. It's not quite like losing your memory.
But it could be applied, right?
Yeah. They might know more on this topic. Apparently the libraries of this place don't know who Ezri is.
That does good.
Not that you asked directly about Ezri, you
Yeah.
asked about people who lost their memory.
Yeah.
We should be able to find out something from this.
The last thing I'll give you is there is a spell called Modify Memory that can be used to make people forget things. So you now have knowledge of that spell.
Seems all roads point to this albino fellow.
How nice. It's worth going there anyway. For many reasons, then.
Yes, I have to agree at this point.
Well, shall we turn in?
Try and get to full 8 hours despite this incursion? Or do we wake up early and press on?
I think we don't want to be traveling in too much of the heat. We should travel as we planned.
Not wait for spells in the light to refresh?
Not the ones that we used, I suppose. Let me take 10 minutes to get some advice. I'll check the almanac and see if I can learn any more about travel in this land.
Sure.
Recommendations around times of travel and whatnot.
Sure.
It's like the international SOS equivalent.
Give me the knowledge nature.
You bet. 34.
Yeah, with a given day, at any time, it's going to get extremely warm and extremely dry. Especially as you're heading into the edge of the Great Parch on your way to the Valley of the Titans. You're in for some very warm weather.
It's going to be very hot. Maybe we should rest midday instead.
That does
Something like that.
seem reasonable. I mean,
The Vark travel this many times. Let's travel with the Vark.
Right. Zephyr's going to cast Endure Elements on himself regardless.
I'll have my palanquin.
Right along with your parasol and your weird
casting ray across.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, given your good roll, I'm going to give you +2s to your survival checks or any checks that involve heat the next day, as the almanac has suggestions on how to beat the heat. Keeping hydrated is the first thing. Keeping out of the sun. The Vark do say that they plan on traveling in the shadows.
We will not enter the Great Parch. We will travel along its edge.
Good.
We have spots. We are a couple days away from Great Parch. Plenty of water here. If you think it wise to travel not during the hottest part of day, we can rest during that time.
I think it's probably wise, but we do need to make good time. And we can make water. We will give you water.
Oh, great Vark!
Yes.
They all get you to top up their canteens and
Heck yeah.
water containers. Or you have crate water
Yeah.
at will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cantrip. Yeah.
The Vark are quite impressed with a lot of you, and periodically throughout the day, as they drink water, they keep on asking you to top it up, as if they want to keep their canisters
Yeah.
completely full.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I'll
Yeah.
occasionally get in line with them.
Okay, you're like, oh, please.
Vark
Bubbling water out of.
Vark you.
Oh, Vark me as well.
Yes.
Look, I'm fitting in, finally.
Do you have any junk?
I'll wander away without ever saying anything.
There's one Vark standing there, looking at your, admiring your wheelbarrow. The group of you spend 2 more days in the prickly scrub, and I'm going to move you to a different map called the Great Parch. I'm going to unfog part of the Great Parch and make your player visible.
I can just imagine how thirsty you would get walking on that.
Yep.
The great
Like your lips would look like that too.
Do you want it in C or do you want it in Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit's fine.
Fahrenheit's fine. Okay, so
For the channel.
Yeah.
For the channel, yeah.
We're worldly people.
Yeah.
Of course.
We know all about
In that case, Kelvin, please.
Kelvin, please. I'll have to do some freaking math to do Kelvin, but
It's just offset by 273, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, that looks parched.
the Vark are keeping you in the shadows of the edge of those hills that lead down into this endless looking plain of cracked old mud and shimmering auras on the distance. It is an unforgiving place. You probably don't want to wander out into the parch, although, Professor, you know that beyond the parch probably lie the sands, and in the sands are hidden all sorts of things, you're certain. You have entire theses on these, on what lie in the sands. Ancient temples of the ancient gods, underneath the temples of the first inherited races.
I'll just be staring out longingly from my wheelbarrow, just like
rags wrapped around your head, and you're resting in your wheelbarrow with your parasol, staring out into the mirages.
throwing my cooling spells up.
All right, so I need some. Let's see. Heat, man, heat. It is severe heat. While it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade, it is above 110 in the sun. You guys are walking in single file. We'll say that the Vark are slow. So they're marching that way. The Vark are here. Who also has a 20-foot move speed? I think that's the professor in his wheelbarrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sephiroth is unaffected by the heat.
Yep, your Endure Elements keeps you safe. Ezri.
Until 140 degrees.
Oh, how do you guys heal your damage over the last couple of days? Has it just been natural healing?
Yeah, just natural healing, I think. We don't have healers.
Okay, so you recover without doctoring.
We had one, but
Your-
it got killed.
Your level.
Yeah, I was about to say, if somebody's watching on the stream at this point, I'm sure they're going to have lots of questions.
Your level
A
per
party without a healer.
per day you had that evening, so 6, and then 2 more days of travel before you reach the Great Parch, so 18 hit points are returned, which means that Ezri still has 12 damage.
Sephiroth is all healed.
I have a question.
Tech is all healed.
Would a flaming sphere break invisibility if I don't cast it directly on the creature?
Nope.
It would if I did cast it directly on them.
Yep.
Right? So I'd have to cast it to the side, move action to move it on top of them.
But I think the move action is intact.
And your land speed's 30? Or 20?
20 and a fly of
Okay.
30, I think.
So yeah, you're kind of marching alongside Professor's wheelbarrow,
Yeah.
dipping at your toes. Ezri's able to keep up to Zephyros, and Tech is just forging ahead as you guys are traveling across the Great Parch.
Would the move action on a flaming sphere break my invisibility?
Yeah, if you rolled it into somebody,
Yeah.
you break your invisibility. This is a miserable day. Effectively, you get, in severe heat, characters must make a fortitude save once every 10 minutes or take non-lethal damage. So,
I have a suggestion or a question.
yep.
If I cast a rope trick, can I drag the rope?
Nope, it is immobile based off of the space. Give me a spellcraft check, because this is a really interesting question you're asking.
Okay, let me
The
just
DC will be 22.
DC 22, spellcraft.
Tech's gonna be fine. He has a ring of fire
plus
resistance.
6,
Yep.
Ezri has a cloak that
25.
has endure elements.
Oh, she does? Okay. So
It's her traveling cloak.
got it. Zephyros is casting Endure Elements. Mockernam has basically buried himself into Zephyros's gear. You're not walking. You're just concentrating on your little cart and that
And
sort
I
of thing.
keep putting up the.
Yeah, well, casting a spell once every 6 seconds will get you fatigued quicker than just marching through the desert will.
Okay.
So you can I will allow to provide a bonus every once in a while. You cool something that is inside your little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pharisee protecting herself and Pixel in any way? Pixel might just bury herself into Pharisee's clothing.
That's
and
not
sort of
crazy,
stay
yeah.
there.
Yeah. I don't think Pharisee has any particular way to protect herself.
Okay.
She'll pour water on herself frequently.
Nice, because you can conjure water
Yeah.
at will. So for the professor and for Pharisee, I'm going to treat you guys as being in very hot conditions instead of in severe heat.
Okay.
So you only have to make a saving throw each hour. I need 8 saving throws.
All
You
right.
guys get a +2 for your spells and a +2 for tech, kind of dressing you up the next day.
All right. These are fort saves.
These are fort saves. They get harder as time goes on, and you get a +4 to all of your rolls. So just roll
Alright.
a big battery of them.
So 8 of them. 8
Yep.
pound sign.
Yep.
1d20 plus 12.
The DC is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So made 15. Fail.
The one you failed.
2 I failed.
Okay, so Professor, over the course of the day, takes
Holy
4.
crap! I rolled 3 nat 20s in a row.
Just so you know, I rolled a 25 spellcraft check.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second.
Some good water you're creating over there.
What is it? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20?
15, 16, 17, 18.
15,
Yeah, keeps on going.
16, 17, 18, 19,
4 non-lethal damage throughout the day,
21, 22. Two fails.
and 4 non-lethal damage throughout the day.
Alright.
The Vark seem to have some way of keeping cool. They've got some desert gear on, like specific wrappings and that sort of thing that they've wrapped themselves in. And with your water, they've been keeping themselves and their insects cool. So it's just really uncomfortable, I guess. At first level, this would be concerning.
Yeah.
It's also concerning given that, well, you don't have healers.
Yeah, that's concerning.
With the 25 rope trick, you know that rope tricks are immobile. They are anchored to a spot. However, you believe that there might be a specific size mass of vehicle that would be considered an anchored spot, and therefore the vehicle could move.
A vehicle, you say?
Yes.
So
the wheelbarrow is not a big enough vehicle for you to cast a rope trick
We
spell.
have all this wood, though.
So like a ship or a very large wagon, you might have to experiment with. You might be able to cast a rope trick inside of. A vehicle like the apparatus of Qualish, experiment needs to be done.
Well, we kind of.
Imagine that, everyone getting up into the rope trick and then the apparatus moves around.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah.
Manny and Luna
Sweaty as hell.
in there.
So, yeah, Zephyrus, as he's marching through the desert, has these thoughts. We'll say that you do camp one night in the parch. We'll say that the same amount of damage has occurred the next day. However, you do get to heal 1 more day's worth of damage. Ezri's down to 6 damage.
Alright.
And on the horizon, a little bit out into the parch, you see some animals. You see lying on its side, fuzzy and disgruntled looking, is a very sick, perhaps dead Rothe. Now, Rothe are huge bison, desert-like bison, desert-dwelling bison. There are a number of carrion vultures that are popping around and kind of circling around and being agitated by what looks like some very large coyotes that are circling this Rothe. The Rothe, you see, gives a kick when one of the giant vultures tries to land on him, like it's still alive, barely. And some of the giant vultures look like they are swooping down at the massive horse-sized hyenas that are circling the desert Rothe.
I'll cast Mage Armor and Invisible Familiar.
Okay, so you guys are a good distance away. We'll say that like this looks like it's way far in the distance. You're probably 300 feet away at this point when you spot this nature taking its course, I guess.
I'll cast
The
Fly and Invisible.
Well, hold on. You did a round of action. The desert Rothe seems to have scraps on him, as if he was a domesticated Rothe. You remember from the market, a creature like this is worth a couple
You said
$1,000.
things were a bit expensive, no?
A valuable match.
I will cast
It must have had an owner, perhaps a rich owner.
Well, let's see.
So Henry cast a couple spells. Ferris, are you doing anything?
Do we have a means to heal it?
No. I'm just checking if I have anything to heal it. I've got potions of cure moderate wounds.
That would help.